Welcome to the comment show, where we respond to your YouTube comments. I think this is actually the original cast of the pilot, if you will.
Whoa, boys are back in town.
Reunited. I think you should do the honors of the first one, because you wrote this video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The secret to a perfect body, genetics.
With genetics, I only need to go to the gym once a week, and that's just for a shower and a smoothie.
Commenter Who Really Cares writes, why doesn't the government just spend research on that instead of research on cancer? With genetics, the gene for cancer would never activate in your DNA, right?
Wow, sounds like you really care.
I think they probably do a little bit of both.
I read an article that they sequenced someone's DNA. There was like some kid who was in a coma in the hospital and they didn't know what was causing it. And they used DNA sequencing to find out it was a rare form of bacteria that was affecting him, and they had him better in like 2 days. So science is on it, dude. Who really cares? Science cares.
Emily, you traced your genetic lineage in a very specific way.
So freaking disappointing.
You did one of those like mail in, like where am I from? Like you just take a cotton, you spit in a
No,
cup.
it's more than that. You gotta
spill
really
up like a whole vial of spit.
Cock a loogie into a vial, and then seal it in a biogenetic warning bag, and then you processed it, and then they gave me like the worst fucking results. A lot of it was like unclassifiable. I think
Maybe you're an alien or like a clone or something.
Oh my god! Thank you for just spinning my disappointing test.
Goombrat writes, I asked people in my nearly 10-year class if they genetically modify themselves, and everyone said strength, speed, massive boob job, or didn't know the definition. No one said intelligence.
2 of these things are like superpowers, like super strength, super speed, and
Yeah.
giant boobs. You know? It's like
That's definitely what I would do.
closest you can get to mind control without actually being mind control. Man, Superman would be real weird with giant boobs. Super strength, super speed, and giant boobs.
No one said intelligence. That's too bad.
Honestly, if I had huge boobs, though, I could sort of just rest the book there and just be reading while I'm walking around. Mr. Mein Namen. Oh, that's gotta be German. All I want is sideburns. Genetics will have that.
That's the guy equivalent to a big boob job.
Yeah.
Awesome sideburns. Wolverine sideburns. Yeah.
Oh
Actually, I think probably the closest thing for guys is like the ability to grow facial hair, right? Like if you can grow like a real nice solid beard, it's like that's something to be like.
I can't grow sideburns. Like you see, this just keeps happening. I get like payas or whatever.
Would you ever do it with makeup?
Just touch it in. Zesba 9000 writes, what's ironic is someday you will be able to change your genetics to whatever you most want, likely. Transhumanism, simply put, will get rid of genetic discrimination altogether. Winky tongue face.
Transhumanism and an emoticon.
Transhumanism and the same thing as like the singularity? Is that? I feel like I hear those things used often.
I think it's like this. It's like I just saw a really great article yesterday.
And your articles.
I'm an expert talking about articles. I just saw a really good article that was like, is Edward Snowden the first post-human? And it was because like now he always appears as like on an iPad. They just like roll him around on an iPad because he can't leave. So they're like he's like a post-human. So maybe transhumanism is kind of like that.
Like Trapp, I gotta say your video probably has some of the most provocative, thought-provoking
love these
comments.
Collectively, like writing like a really great sci-fi novel. It's like they're like tossing around ideas like we'll have big boobs, we'll be able to choose all the boobs we want,
and everyone will be dumb as hell. Would you guys like if you could say like, you know, you go into the doctor's office and you're like, we're gonna have a baby, and they're like, okay, do you want a girl or a boy? Would you make that choice?
You should pose this question to our viewers, actually.
Like if I like chose, it was like, I'm gonna have a boy, and then it's like this is a shitty son. It's like I should have picked girl, and like, you know, like now it's like my fault, like you know, like whereas like it's like leave it up to fate, you know, like it's like well, you know, like I'll just you gotta make do with what you got here, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very intelligent questions. Hottest lesbian kiss ever is next.
Lesbians, bro.
Pokeyman260 says, hey homophobes, the majority of the U.S. now... So he's talking to you, Trapp.
Yep.
Hey homophobes, the majority of the U.S. now supports gay marriage/gay rights. How does it feel to be the minority now, bitches?
Good to see a comment that ends in bitches.
This is the most...
I do love these comments that are like really like they're like it's like I'm gonna make this good point and then like bitches or like winky face.
Tech noob dude. So lesbians are time lords.
I'm sick of these stereotypes about all lesbians being time lords. Okay,
some lesbians
are time lords.
But that does not mean that all lesbians are time lords.
Comic book guy writes, Thank you, CollegeHumor, for making me need to delete my internet history again.
That's
True, yeah, like a nice title there.
Dude, you don't know the half of it. When we're writing sketches here,
Oh, yeah.
I have to look up the weirdest shit.
Right, yeah, it's true.
But then sometimes I just do it on my own, too.
Ball busting PSA, which was an all-nighter video.
He said, your new name is Fruit Snack. I said, hey, please don't call me that. He goes, hey, I'm just busting balls here.
Scott Swan says, bunch of guys hanging out talking about where they were from. One guy says Boston, another says Philly. Then a guy says Minnesota, and I was like, hey, what state is Minnesota in? My name is Minnesota for 450.
That's the perfect example of ball busting. Like, you make one dumb mistake, and it's like, that's your nickname now. If you ever meet someone new, like who's like new to the group, and they're like, hey, why do they call you Minnesota? You're from Minnesota. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, you have to relive your shame every time.
You guys have nicknames in high school or college?
My friend Jason started everyone calling me EX.
Oh, that's kind of. But did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, people just call me Trapp, which they still do now.
Trap.
Just because there's
Trap
like way
attack.
too many Mikes and Michaels.
Do you know the Nicki Minaj song "Bees in the Trap"?
Yeah.
I always get bees in Mike Trap. Bees in Mike Trap in my head when I like write you an email.
I wonder what this current state of ball busting is on like construction sites. It must be. They must be a little more progressive than they were 20
They must
years
have
ago.
entered like a post ball busting.
Post ball busting
phase.
era of
Yeah.
construction sites.
Do we have any
Frat
ball
house or-
busting in the office?
I bust Adam kind of.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Adam.
I was gonna say that's what I was
Adam.
picturing too. I was like,
But that's
picturing-
just because he takes such a strong stance on things.
It's
It's like you
because
feel like you
he's-
need to bring him down.
He doesn't ball bust. He does he self-righteous busts. Like if you're like, if I'm using this cup, he's like, oh, don't care about the environment, do you?
I see you're circumcised. That's kind of strange, don't you think?
It's funny they say it's like it's used as like I'm just busting your balls. Like don't get excited, but it's like ball busting by the name is like a horrible, painful
Oh,
thing.
Jesus.
Guy who likes every sports team, starring John Gabris.
Yeah.
I love baseball.
Ryan Petoskey says, when idiots put too much merit into men playing a game against each other for way too much money than they deserve, every sports fan is an idiot. Smiley face!
Because this sketch kind of makes fun of bandwagoners a little more, and not
Yeah.
sports
Yeah.
fans in general.
I feel like this is like a sentiment that a lot of people who don't like sports like to do, because it's like, well, I don't get this, so I'm gonna like rain on your parade, but it's like, you can like apply the same logic to anyone's
Yeah,
hobby.
you could be like, oh, sci-fi isn't real. Fantasy, superheroes aren't real. I don't understand why people spend so much time getting excited about these not real superheroes.
You could say almost
just
the
fucking
exact
dumb.
same thing about like watching Game of Thrones. It's like, oh, you're paying all these people to dress up in silly costumes, and like, why do you care so much about this?
Drake McHorder, behold, I am the guy who likes no sports team.
Ooh.
You're the one guy in the world.
That's the sequel.
It would just be someone being like, I don't get why you like sports.
Yeah.
If you put him with Gabris, maybe like the two, it's like him just being like, oh, but you gotta love this team. It's like, oh, I guess no, well, maybe.
What?
What? Okay, well, how about this one? Adwin85 writes, guys who like all teams are the real sports fans. I mean, yeah, if you just like athleticism, I guess that's true.
Yeah. They're a fan of sports as an idea.
As an idea, as like, I enjoy watching humans at their peak physical capabilities.
I mean, I do. You ever watch So You Think You Can Dance?
no.
Weird. No problem if you ever have. I got into it because it's just like people's whose bodies are just
Sure. Yeah.
muscle. They're just moving muscle.
Yeah.
And
moving
again,
in impressive
they
ways.
make it
It's
look
like
so
Olympics
fluid.
or gymnastics. I try to dance along.
So you
But-
think you could dance?
So the answer is yes, I do think I could dance. And then at the end of every episode, I find out no, I cannot dance.
I thought I could dance.
So I thought I could dance.
But I can't.
Yeah.
These are comments on the comment show. This is what I call the
Yeah.
inception part of the episodes, where we go so far up our own ass we know what we're going for.
That's what Inception was. It was
Yeah.
one journey up an ass.
Up Leonardo DiCaprio's ass.
The Ukasmer?
That's the UK ASMR.
Hell yeah, my comment was up there, and yeah, we do love our American accents. Winky face.
I wonder if British people like American accents. Oh, so this.
That's funny because I looked in the comments to see if like people liked American accents or not, and
That's
I saw
right.
I saw a lot more people being like, no, we don't like American accents, and I was like, okay.
The same thing with like, oh, a British accent. Like, there's so many British accents. We'll also say like
Yeah.
American accent. It's like there's like also
there's
so many.
there's like Midwest. I got kind of that real charming upstate New York nasal
Albany.
drawl.
Heavy Albany accent.
I think nasal sort of defines most American accents, though.
Yeah.
One's from like the deep south. Can they have an ASMR-ish voice? I wonder.
Definitely.
sure.
Southern voices are
Really?
so relaxing.
I
A
don't know if
nice
I've ever heard
whispered Southern
Toby
voice.
Keith.
Scrooge McFuck. These guys will post anything I write just to read my name.
Scrooge McFuck. Scrooge McFuck.
Scrooge McFuck.
Scrooge McFuck.
Scrooge McFuck.
Scrooge McFuck. It's not
Why
fair.
are we playing into this?
We don't see these beforehand. Someone else is picking these, so it's not our fault.
Yeah.
We won't fall for it again.
Not
And
again.
I'd like to see what he has to say to that, you know?
Yeah. Press fart to continue. Hey, good job, me. Again. Press fart to continue. Piss or lemonade?
okay, I don't
Good
remember
job,
him, but-
Team Me. He's sort of like, I guess, like, you can be a famous commenter now.
Can you do a can this commenter do it like a 1 month only comment on our video's residency? If you
A
want to see
commenter in residence.
press fart to continue.
You gotta come to our video.
Yeah, we put him up in like a little house, like just outside the office, and like has like employees over every once in a while. He's like, oh, let me tell you about the project I'm working on.
He has a team that's like writing and rewriting his comments.
Okay, that's it for this episode of the Comment Show. Any last words, guys, before we go? I don't want
I have
to
one.
gobble up the last
Bye.
word.